Can you hear me okay?
So it's not the clearest.
Okay, apologies for that.
Oh, there we go.
Got it? Okay, I had to hold the mic up. So it's good to see you too. Love that you are going to be in this premiere episode. My questions, first question is, Javicia, how do you feel coming out of that first season with so much that was like weighing on it, and then, you know, fans were really impressed, I think. How are you feeling about first season going into the second?
I'm so excited for second season because the first season was a lot of like, I've realized that I don't really need to separate Ryan and I's journey because it's very similar of like putting on a suit and not feeling like it's yours, you know? And so going on the journey to feeling like you have to earn it, you know, or going on the journey to feel like you got to put your blood, sweat, and tears in it. It's not just yours. I almost feel like every superhero should probably have to go through that so that way it can really feel like something that, you know, earned really is the word. So I kind of do feel like that's something that Ryan and I have in common. So going into the third season, feeling a little bit more confident about everything, as far as Ryan's ability to be able to truly be Batwoman while balancing out all of the things that are happening in her life in general, right? So that's always going to play. That's always a factor. That's always a factor with every superhero. But then all of a sudden, a little wrench gets thrown in her plans. Her mom is alive. And so now it's like, oh my God, I just got over all of these hurdles. And like, I think I have things going well for myself. I'm smart. I know how to delegate everything. I know how to keep things moving. I got to get these Batman trophies collected. I got to deal with Alice. I got to, you know, now my mom, and it just gets really complicated really quick. And honestly, we may have one episode of like a moment to catch a breath. And then it just like becomes like a roller coaster. Does it not? It's like it doesn't slow down once it starts.
I love you so much. You're like the hardest working woman. I have seen her up close. I don't know how you do it. Yes, Ryan's got a lot going on. A lot.
Ryan has so much going on.
So, Robin, you're the wrench. How does it feel coming in and just, you know, just like blowing the narrative into the sky? I mean, Javicia did it, you know, in the second season. You're in the third. You're like, okay, here's the plot twist, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fantastic plot twist. And what's interesting is I'm not sure that Jada chose it, right? Like, you know, Ryan kind of discovers this, or she's wondering, right, Javicia, if it's true or not, and kind of comes in, and she comes into Jada's life. And I think Jada doesn't know how to deal with all of this. But I think Jada's happy about it. You know, I think we have Jada Jet, you know, head of Jatorian Industries that runs everything, you know, can handle all of life, no problem, hang out with the guy, do whatever. But all of a sudden her daughter is there, you know, the sense that, you know, she's a mom and with her son and she's willing to do anything for her kids. We see her softness and vulnerability there. And I think between Jada and Ryan, they're trying to figure out what type of relationship they're going to have, you know, and I think probably both of them really, really want to have a relationship, but how do you cut through all of the past, all of the many years that I wasn't in her life and she wasn't in mine. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I'm excited. What was it like for both of you, the relationship between you two, just off camera playing these roles? That's the question for both of you.
That was fun. I think that we started very early. As soon as Robin pretty much touched down, we went and grabbed dinner. And the moment we got dinner, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so much fun. Like we just sat and we talked about everything and we ate and we ate and we ate to our hearts. I love any person that loves food as much as I love food. And we have like this thing about food. We like good food. Yeah. We like to go searching and we like to find that good food and sit across each other and have like a good meal, a good cocktail and just like catch up. And yeah. It's so good. It
was nice, but I'm so glad that we got to have that moment, right? Because everything moved so quickly, because we got to have this Javicia Robin moment, just the two of us. I'm glad no one else was there. You know, we could just it's such an important relationship on screen. We really didn't know each other, right? You didn't know what I was going to be like. I didn't know what you were going to be like. So to have that moment, and then it was like the next week we started with a huge scene where they are kind of like butting heads, but we knew that we still had whatever Jada and Ryan were doing. We knew Javicia and Robin were cool.
We're good. Yeah.
So
we're good.
it was really, I'm glad we had that dinner.
It also made it fun because we kind of like poke fun at each other because I knew that, all right, she likes to laugh, she likes to have fun. She knew I like to laugh and I have fun. So then we find little ways to like make each other laugh, and it just like, brightened up the set so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So you ladies join like a small but growing group of women, Black women in comic book series. But in comic book film, they seem to be kind of lagging. I think we have Viola Davis in Suicide Squad, and that's it. So for this year so far, how do you feel about TV kind of one-upping the film, kind of being like leagues ahead of film and putting Black women in like superhero movies and positions and roles?
I think
go ahead, sweetie. I'm sorry. No. Go ahead. No.
I think I don't want to dismiss the other superheroes that I know. Like, I know Leslie Grace is getting ready to play Batgirl, and she's an Afro-Latino woman. So it's like we're to answer your question. I think we're in a space where the bigger budget films, they like to put their money where they think they're going to get the highest sales. And the thing about TV, you can kind of experiment a little bit more, you know what I mean? Versus like the bigger budget films. And what I love about our show and shows like ours is that it's proving that there is a market for us. It's proving that there is a market for Black female superheroes, I think Black Panther was the first time we saw that we could exist in that world and matter and be impactful and sell out movie theaters. And so this is only the beginning. I think the bigger thing is just to get more Black people on the other side of the camera, the ones that are making the large decisions, not the ones that are just, the actors, the ones that are the studio owners and the studio heads and like that. We need more of those. That's where we need to go.
Agreed. And Robin,
what were you about to
say?
I
was going to say, I kind of second that. I just think things are a process, right? It's really a process. When I first started doing, television, there weren't many women that looked like me. Now there are a lot, so I think it's just all a process. So you just kind of keep chipping away at it. And I think when you look at Batwoman, we were doing a scene and I saw it was myself, it was Javicia, it was Megan. It was just a beautiful thing to see, we had Nick there. So things are I think they are getting better. And I think we've been doing this kind of all afternoon, sort of talking about Batwoman. We were talking about how historic it is to have the first Black Batwoman. And it is a beautiful thing. And then after a while, you realize, oh, she just becomes Batwoman. And then you go, oh yeah, she's Black. She's not Black Batwoman. She's just Batwoman, So I think more and more, it just becomes part of the world we're in. And we're getting there.
We're getting there. Yeah.
I love to hear that, and especially from you, Robin. You've got an extensive filmography, and so your insight on this is very valuable, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like for you, kind of donning? I think this is your second superhero film, if you count Blank Man, like way back.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's true. Yes. That's like that. My kids like Blank Man too. I'm always interested in what my children love. They love Blank Man. That was fun. That was a lot of fun, and it sort of has stood the test of time. To play a love interest and with Damon Wayans, that's one thing, and it's kind of fun. And we had such a wonderful time doing it. And he too, like Ryan, it's such a good heart. I think Ryan might be able to beat up Blank Man, quite honestly. Batwoman. No, I'm joking.
I think so, yeah.
But there's something about this, even if you're talking about my perspective, where there is a genuine sense of honor, a genuine sense of being proud to be in this world, that you didn't even know until I was chosen to do it, or asked to do it, where you go, wow, you're in Gotham City. Oh, wow, you're in this world. Oh, wow, you're Batwoman's mom. It's, I'll never stop being proud. I'm still so excited about all of it. And I'm really honored and proud to work with a woman like Javicia. I mean, I think we're truly becoming friends. I consider her a friend. I lean on her. She's just lovely. And she's got a strength. Javicia has a strength as a woman, and intelligence, and a grace that really makes her the perfect person to play this role, to play this historic role, to play Ryan, but also Batwoman. And as a Black woman, I'm just proud of this young Black woman.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I forgot you were there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's there. She's here listening.
Yeah. I had to say, I second Robin. I mean, I'm so proud to have this series, for my girls coming up to see it. It's normal for them. I mean, you're not the Black woman for them. You're just that woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's amazing. So I think that's my time. I know I need to get out of here before this movie lets out. But thank you too for just a few minutes. And great, good luck on the series. Robin, if you're there for, I hope they keep you. I really do. But if you're there for a while, good luck, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, it's so good to see you. This is so crazy. Like, I just watched the finale and I'm like, hi, Tim Drake,
yeah?
how are you?
It's good to see you, man. Honestly, I've watched a lot of your interviews with the other cast, and I really liked your vibe. I was actually bored as well, so I was watching the your reviews to stuff, and I just was really curious about what you thought of it. So I've been seeing you, man. Don't worry.
Well, thanks. Listen, I am such a big fan of this season. Like, I'm kind of sad it's ending.
I know it's happened so quick, hasn't it?
It has, and even you're barely in it, but you're like the middle half. You're not there, but I feel like I got to know Tim so much, even though you were there, and then smatterings of you. You know what I mean?
Yes, the whole thing of me being in 1 and then to 6, and then finally we get the story going. There was a lot of people at the time going yo, where's Tim? He's what's happened to him? I don't know. I think I was just ordering noodles or something, giving noodles to people.
You were busy. You were busy just spying on everybody is what you were doing.
Yeah, in the secret base. Doing who knows.
I know. I love it. I love it. But just seriously, such a phenomenal job on this. It's so exciting to see Tim brought out here, and you're so good. I got to know, how did you feel when they were hey, you want to be Tim Drake?
How did I feel? I mean, it was my manager who told me that it was Tim Drake Robin, and I was, I remember the phone call. I was in the bathroom, and I remember him texting me 20 minutes before, a very blunt, serious text, I'll call you in 15. And I was like, what? I was I didn't get it, man. I didn't get it, because we were waiting for the news. I heard that I was favorite for a while. And then I got the call, and he just said to me, he was oh yeah, you're going to be Tim Drake. And I went, huh? And he went, you're going to be Robin. And I was I was okay, cool, sick, all right, let's go.
I know, it's so cool. And I'm dying for the moment where you suit up, and I'm sure you're dying for that moment too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I really am. I mean, this whole season is just him saying, give me a chance. Yes. I want to be the person that I so long to be, and it's my desire and it's my wish. Can you please make it happen? And everyone's just yeah. Miss Troy's nah. Dick's nah. So, but let's see. I mean, now with the last ep as well.
I know, and I'm not saying anything.
Talk about it? I don't even know if I can talk about it.
Right, I don't know. I think this is going to come out before that, so I'm maybe at the end we'll talk a little bit about it. But I'm oh my gosh, this is when I was talking to Curran, and it was before episode 5, and I was there's so much I want to say to him about Red Hood, but I'm glad the episode where you the afterlife episode, I guess I will call it. Yeah. I love that episode. I feel we really got to know Tim, and just see your will to no, I'm going to come back. And it's not just for this or that. It's like, I want to save Gotham. Like, that's so admirable, you know?
Yeah. We shot that really early on in the time that I was there. And even when we were filming it, I was like, this is the best. Like Boris, the DOP, he was directing it for that episode. And I just said to him, I was like, this is a standout because of the setting of it and the black and white. I was very curious to see how people would think, what they would think of it. And people have been so nice about it, man. So I'm so happy that you really like it.
Yeah, it was so good. I love that episode. And I thought it was perfect that they spent the majority of the time on you guys. Like there's so many Titans and stories to follow. And they were like, you know what? We're going to take a break and we're going to go to here. You know, it was like, no Red Hood this episode, no Crane this episode. Like, let's focus on this. And it allowed it that time to breathe, you know? And I'm curious, like, how did you feel when you first read the script for that episode?
This is what I've been saying, right? It's so funny how real life aligns with your actor life, the Titans world, especially with this, because at the time we shot in February and I was going through it, man. I mean, like the whole thing of COVID at the time was just so depressing. I mean, like all of us were really going through it, and we did such a great job to kind of stick together and stay positive. But you know, I was locked in isolation in January, where people didn't actually know that I was even there yet. And for the 14 days on like the 20th floor with Ian Glenn being like right on the, like, just quickly, we went on the plane together, and then it was New Year's Eve, and obviously the laws were you have to isolate. So I'm in my hotel room by myself while Ian Glenn is in another room, but then we had a balcony. So every day we'd go in the balcony and be like, "You right, Ian? You right?" And like, "You right, Jay?" And we got really close there. But anyway, back to it. I was in my room working on those lines, and it's just so funny how it aligns because he just wants to go home, like that whole episode. And I was feeling that, but I was just really struggling and just like really having your back against the wall and not seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Like it was the exact same thing. And I thought, this is so funny. So, you know, the stuff that I was going through at the time and in that episode, in those scenes, it felt really real. Like even on set, I was in between, I was like talking to my people and being like, I'm really feeling this. And, you know, I don't know if it's a good or a bad way. And I mean, it worked. So, you know, I'm glad that it was seen by the audience as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy this past like 18 months that we've been dealing with this, and it feels like it's never going to end. It's like you take a couple steps forward and then something happens and it's like 10 steps backwards. But which is partly why we have DC Fandom online this weekend, which I can't wait for. And there's going to be some Titan stuff going on. I'm excited.
I don't know though. Like that's the thing. Like I was saying to other people, I was like, I have no idea what this surprise is. So if anyone asks me, I don't know. Like I have an idea. There's been a few talks. There's been a few things, but I don't actually know what it's going to be. So I'm looking forward to it just as much as you are.
Oh, I can't wait. And then I'm curious how you feel about like once cons are back in person. Is it something you're excited to like go to and attend?
Well, see, I don't know. Like, it's something that I'm actually very interested in. And like, the fans have been so lovely on social media that, I mean, it would suck not to see them in person and like, you know, get chatting to them. And it's something that I'm like really interested in and excited to just talk to people.
Yeah, well, like, so I tweeted out, you know, if anybody had questions for you, almost every single person is like, ask him what it's like to be the cool Robin. I was like, yeah, he's totally the cool Robin.
Yo, how do I feel to be the cool Robin? I don't know. Jason, Karen is pretty cool, but you know, if they think that I'm cool as well, I'll take that. You know, it's cool to be a nerd now. Yes. Thank God. Thank God. You know? You're
telling me. I grew up like having to hide like how geeky I was, and now I'm like, listen, comic books are amazing. Okay.
Yep. All that stuff behind you, yeah, I know it was in your loft, and you went, "Hey, I'm taking this out.
Yes.
Look at this now. Look at it."
Right? I've got friends call me, well, what comics should I read before I watch this series? And I'm like, oh, you care now? Let me give you a whole list of comics you should read. But like, so speaking of that, like, so had you already read some comics featuring Tim, or did you kind of deep dive into it when you got the role?
It was definitely a thing that once I got the role, I needed to like educate myself and like understand where he came from, and like looking at the origin, and also just listening to the fans as well. Like one of the things I did was just like go on YouTube and just like, one of the videos actually that like really stuck with me was the comparisons between the three and why people loved Tim so much. And it was looking at his genius and his intelligence and why that's different to Jason Todd, who's like more impulsive and rebellious, or like Dick and what he went through with, you know, with Bruce and still dealing with that. So that was a lot of stuff. And yeah, and then like just one of the things that like I revisited recently was just like the first ever miniseries of Robin, like his comics. And yo, I'm in love with that, man. I mean, like with Clyde Rawlins, like, yo, that's the guy I want to see in this. I think he's so cool. Like, I really like it. And there was like this really nice, they had something where they could both, especially with both of their origin stories with like their parents and stuff. Like, oh man, I really liked it. And I like those OG comics, man. They're really cool.
Well, I was going to ask you if there's anything from the pages of the comics that you would love to see.
Well, there is.
That would be it, right?
Clyde Rawlins, yeah, I definitely love to see like that character come to life, because I think he's like such a complex character that has like a lot for him. And I think like in the comics as well, he really seemed like the aggressor, but I kind of understood, like, you got to understand. I mean, it's a classic revenge story. I'd love to see like it in live action and to see there's more to him. And yeah, the way he goes out, I just think there could be something cooler that maybe a live action version can do.
Listen, sign me up. Like, let's do it, right?
You want to be Clyde, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be sure. I meant sign me up like yes, I want to see it, but sure, I'll try. Why not, right? Anything's possible. That's what Tim has taught the world, right?
Yeah,
anything's possible.
Right. Damn right, man. Boy wonder.
Well, like, I just want to say, so from what we've seen, I have to word this carefully, so far in the series, like, you haven't gotten to meet all of the Titans yet. You haven't gotten to see everybody yet. But of course, the cast, I'm sure you get to see each other and hang out. So what is that like on set? And I know, I'm sure with COVID protocols, it's a little different, but is there ever any like goofing around or pranking or scaring each other behind the scenes?
We could chill together, which was really nice.
Oh, that's good.
I think. I mean, it would be kind of crazy if we had to isolate together. I didn't know that protocol if there was one, but I you know, everything that you're seeing on camera was really real with the chemistry and everything. I mean, like Connor Leslie seriously is like one of my sisters, and we talk all the time, and she really got me through that crazy time, because even for me, that was the first time that I had been away from home, like been away from England. So she was a sister. Damaris is a sister to me. Alan, I was only with Alan for about 2 weeks, but I learned so much from him. And you know, everyone knows about Karen because we just show off our friendship on online. But yo, he was my brother. We would chill all the time, and yeah, all of them, honestly.
I love it.
They do mean a lot to me, and because it was such an important, I know that we'll all look back at that time because we all were in the thick of it, and we had to get through it together, and we really did, you know, we did.
You know, I mean, this season is just amazing. Like, it just gets better and better and better. Like, every little aspect of it has had me so excited. And like I said, I'm bummed that, like, I was like, wait, I already got the screener for the finale. Like, there's no more after this. It's really sad because it's so, I'm like, it flew by for me. So how is it filming? Like, how long did it take to film for you this season?
It took 6 months. It was 6 months altogether. I shot episode 1 first in January, and it was cold as a mother. It was so cold, like Canada. No one warned me. Like, damn, like my fingers were so cold. I'll go to Tim Hortons, my hands like like it was crazy. And then we did episode 9 after that. So episode 9 was right after that in February. Okay. And then it took about it was about 6 months.
Wow, that's crazy to think 6 months, and then it feels like it flies by so quick when you're watching it. That's impressive. So there's probably not a ton of training yet, but like, are you looking towards like, is there going to be stunt training? I mean, I guess you've done a little so far. So what's that like? I really hope so. I mean, with what the future holds, who knows? But you know, it's in my back pocket. Like I'm ready to do it, you know, and I'm excited. And I don't know how much I can say, but there's some stuff that Tim does. He has a specific weapon that he uses that I have started looking at, and like I'm like just excited to kind of, if it goes down routes that Greg wants to do, then I'm ready. Like I'm excited for it. Oh, that's so awesome. I mean, so is there anything that was like on set that you were like, I'm going to steal this, and then you stole it?
No, because we don't do that here.
Right, of course not. You never.
We do not steal at all.
Or that you were given, maybe.
You know what? Yeah, the Gotham hoodie, the noodle hoodie, right? I really wanted, and it's still there. It's not that they wouldn't give it to me. Maybe I didn't try hard enough, but it's definitely something that I need and I want. So that's for the future. I'm still looking, I'm infiltrating, I'm thinking about it. You might not see it, but behind this camera is a huge board, and like in the middle there's a picture of the hoodie, and I've got all the dots, and I'm like, okay, how do I get it? But no, I didn't actually take anything. It was good. I wish I did now.
You wish you did.
Didn't I see Curran stole stuff?
Yeah, he did. He was given some stuff, but I don't know if he was given it or he thinks he was given it.
Always says.
Right. I feel like you guys must be so fun to hang out with, because he was amazing to talk to. I had the best time chatting with him. I need to have him back because he was and he was so good this season too. Like I loved the character development. Like Tim and Jason were like two of my favorite arcs, and I love in this episode that came out today, you just like telling Donna how it is, like what you want. Was that like intimidating at all to get into that place?
I really love that scene because it was like for the first time, especially like when we look at his journey, he's a very vulnerable and innocent kid, and then after 9 he has to decide whether he wants to really do this, if he wants to be the hero that he always has planned to be. And 12 gives him that opportunity where I'm gonna give it to you like I've never done it before, to a Titan, by the way, and that's big coming from a 16, 15-year-old boy. So I knew what I wanted to get out of it before the scene, and I spoke to Carol, who was the director, and there was this one thing she always said to me. She was like, more fire, you know, and I thought giving it, and every time we went for a take, it was just more and more. And yeah, Carol really brought the best out of me in that moment. And yeah, I hope that people saw that passion of like, because goddamn, just give in the suit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you got a shot for you guys. The least you can do is be like, welcome to the Titans. I mean, I'm just saying.
He's definitely given a great argument for it. That's the thing, you know. He's given everything. Like it's all on the plate now. It's just the right people have to say yes, and then that's it.
Yeah, he's like, I know who you all are, but I won't tell anybody. But by the way, also this and this and this and this. Like he's got all the right reasons. So, you know, fingers crossed, that's what's going to happen. So I'm really curious how you are like Tim in real life, or are you?
Well, he's American. But other than that, I think that the passion and the energy that he gives off is something that I really think about. it's very simple, but when I think about acting, it's like I love it, and it's such a thing that I need and I want, and it's such a craft. And when I was thinking about that for acting, I was like, this is what he thinks about when he thinks about the Titans. It's an obsession that he can't help. From a kid, he wanted to do it, and it's like that's the stuff that I was comparing, and that was very easy to get into it when he is trying to convince Dick, when he's trying to convince Connor. It's just like, I need to do this. I don't know why, but there's just this burning feeling and in my gut and in my heart and my soul that I have to do this. And you don't have a choice. I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep getting rejected. I'm going to keep saying no, but guess what? I'm going to keep doing it. That's it.
I love it. I love that. I love that passion and that fire. Before we wrap, there's something a million people asked about, and I kept saying, I feel like he's going to say no, but we'll ask. The Batman, your thug in the Batman. There's so many speculations out there that this is Tim Drake. It is not a thug. But is there anything you can say just at all, just about maybe the experience of being in the Batman and then also in Titans, part of 2 DC projects?
What should I say? I mean, I filmed Batman a year before I got Titans. That's actually the truth of it. So I didn't even know that I was doing Titans. So they're 2 separate projects, and just so happened to cross over. And yeah, like, I don't even know if Greg knew. I don't even know if Greg knew that I did Batman. He just decided to give me another DC project. I don't know. Maybe he just was like, lol, well, let's give him something else as well. But yeah, they're 2 different things, but 2 incredible worlds, and you get 2 different kind of energies from me. So, you know,
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for the new trailer this weekend for the Batman. Like, I remember, it's so crazy, and it's this whole pandemic, because it was like last DC Fandom where they dropped the trailer and it was such a big deal, and now we're like, it's a year later and we're just still don't have the movie.
Yeah, I know. This stuff just takes time, isn't it? But I just know that when the film comes out, it's just like, you know, and to have Robert Pattinson as Batman is everything. I mean, he's so incredible. When you watch Good Time, you're like, oh, this guy's come back to play, you know? And he's awesome. And even on set, I mean, he's amazing. And he's going to be a whole different version that no one's seen before. And also with Matt as well, it's just like working with him, because I was still very fresh as an actor. And I mean, he's just such a perfectionist, and he made sure that he got everything. So, oh man, I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to be in the cinema and just watch it myself.
Oh, it's so great to be back in theaters again, isn't it? As much as, and I'm glad we've had all this at-home content like Titans to look forward to every week. But man, being back in the theater, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's sitting at home on the sofa watching Netflix and Amazon Prime and all that, but nothing beats a big screen when all the lights off and you can't be on your phone. It's just full on concentration. I mean, you can't beat the cinema experience. I mean, there's like loads of arguments if they would ever go away. I can't see it happening. I really hope it doesn't, because it's just, there's nothing like it. And I just hope that kids can appreciate it the way, I mean, like, I'm not an oldie, but I just know that kids are now just into very short form things like TikTok and all that stuff, and you know, and YouTube, and I get that. That's great in that format, but you can't beat a long film that you can just sit down and watch.
Yeah, and like you said, you can't be on your phone. Like, you don't have distractions. Where at home you can say, "Oh, I'm going to turn my phone off and I'm going to turn the lights out and watch this movie," but you're not. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know. And well, I have 8 and 10-year-old daughters, and they love going to the movies. So fingers crossed.
But you have 8 10-year-old daughters.
An 8 and a 10-year-old daughter.
Oh, I was about to say
8 10-year-old daughters would be great.
You have 8 10. I
don't know if that's possible.
That's setting. You have that all behind you, and then on the other side of your camera, you have the 10-year-olds just watching you.
Exactly.
That's
That's exactly it. They've been asking me if they can watch Titans, and I'm thinking, there's some stuff that's still a little too, but they're really into like DC and superhero stuff, so we watch like DC superhero girls together and stuff. So
Do you think you'll let them watch Titans ever?
It's good. They're gonna be a little older. Like some of the stuff with like, Hank and Dove this season was like, and then Jason talking to the girl with no shirt on.
Oh yeah, not that one.
No, they can't watch that. Not yet.
No.
I remember watching that episode going, okay, yeah, no, you cannot watch it. This is definitely a no, not yet.
No. Yeah.
But in the future, for sure. But again, thank you so much, Jay, for taking the time to talk to me. I absolutely adore you in this. I think you're phenomenal, and I'm excited to see what's possibly to come in the future for.
Yeah. And also, look, honestly, I can't wait for everyone to see it, and like I'm gonna keep watching your videos. So just keep doing you. You're amazing, man. So yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And seriously, thank you so much.
All right. Hey guys! We literally just walked out of Eternal. Yeah! Listen, it was so good. You guys aren't ready for this. Like, massive, gorgeous. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. But the end credit scenes, guys. The whole place freaked out. So good. What did you guys think?
Yeah, forget the whole movie. It's only about end credit scene.
End credits.
End credits.
This movie, watch the